It's just a warning to anybody out there that's just found this out was as a 19, the negligence of the DM, and it's on a computer software used by decision maker of Wolverhampton area office on the subject of unlawfully since back on, excuse me, October 2018. My strong evidence on the advice of my case of the grounds that if I was offered a face-to-face consultation by Capita Business Services Limited, it is likely to be stressful for the claimant on their this goes for anybody else on physical disabilities, mental health. The key, if you don't have insight, and at the time there's a particular software policy I just got downloaded for me, 0.15516, that if one doesn't have insight of the effects of one's disabilities, which going back to the offer former Northamptonshire County Council Limited Company short-term development team South social worker Evie, she'd offered to sit in on a particular medical in my private home on, it's called Personal Independence Regulations Statutory Law 2013. Well, I found this offline, and it's led to their incompetence of specific grounds on the disability safety risks they have put me at. I have just found this out on the regulations of personal independence, Statute Law 2013, section 1.1544. The social worker was named as my appointee. I didn't even know this back then, but I've since found this out. The social worker failed to inform me that she was the appointee, and in line for the Department of Works and Pensions and the subject of this claim of personal independence, they should have contacted her, and the Capita assessor should have contacted her and had not, apparently. I wonder what was going on. And if you have a significant impact on your functionality, ability, physical disabilities, exceptional cognitive condition, serious mental health condition, and that's on point 115.16, and then also the DS-1500 by your medical GP, that all that evidence was sent out with PIT 1, PIT 2 form, and additional evidence and strong evidence that one met the, they should have made the decision to consider all of the evidence, which was very strong, and it got sent 3 times. So that was October twice, and when instead of doing what I've just quoted, they ignored it all, Capita individual, and sent a female round to my home. On this channel you'll find a video what happened that day and my reaction, and that was dated back on the 25th of the October 2018 at 9:15 AM when I was asleep, bedbound, the side effects medication. This is why so many cases are going to all the process to the what they call it now, up to the appeal stage. My God. So basically they deliberately had ignored all of this evidence, and in fact sent somebody around to bloody harass me. This is let's go into my notes. And completely caused the there was a case, basically they didn't consider the case, and uphold their own national statutory guidance and procedure. And they could have offered me a paper, a paper PIP assessment instead. So they have been extremely negligent. Can't even believe this. Well, I can, because it goes on. So the appointee all along was a former social worker. She's now left her job. How convenient. And left me with no DLA. I cannot even bloody believe this. So I've got this downloaded off the document that ordinary people might not even know what the computer software notes that these CM/DM decision makers of Department of Works and Pensions are meant to bloody use. So you have strong reports and evidence that you send off in your documents for this PIP medical, and should have been on the advice of the case manager, a DWP, that sends it up to, or electronically, to Darlington Office Call Centre, Capita. In my situation, it's Capita PLC, Business Services Limited, who should have made sure I was offered a paper assessment, on the strong evidence instead of face-to-face. So that piece of shite turning up my blinking home when I'm asleep and can't walk, and the physical evidence all sent, everything you can think of you send off, of up-to-date reports of your minors post-traumatic stress or serious crimes, so that's lifelong. The doctor's reports, even put down his report, what I needed offered. The Reasonable Adjustments in Quality Act 2010, Section 2122, never got actioned. That's direct discrimination by the Department of Works and Pensions, public servants, so I can get them both on that. And so the key word they use is significant impact on one's functional ability, meaning I can't self-care. They were informed in all the previous PIP 1 and 2 documents since June and July, and then my mum died in July last year. And then the impact of the bereavement, they should have made reasonable adjustments on that as well. Oh my lord, so I've got a case to sue their arse off. I'm going to go to High Court with this. And this mandatory reconsideration, right? So the assessor failed deliberately to make, as I just said, the deliberate intention was to dismiss the solid evidence of this is direct harassment to vulnerable disabled people nationally, not just me, by the way. So the remedy I see is well, basically, I don't even know who that female was to report her to the healthcare professional body, whoever that is. And I have to investigate now who that bloody well is. So I've been left without my bloody DLA since there was a letter the 5th of November 2018. So why does it take 3 bloody months to actually get a letter that isn't even got all the points down by this so-called DM decision maker? And I've just read, took me an hour to read it, just read the descriptors of in-house Department of Works and Pensions, their own employee they should have used, and it's all computer codes as well, hence me quoting these numbers. So now I've got the ammunition to go back to their bloody head office CEO and their bloody lawyers to put a notice of intention to sue them in High Court. I'm not going to figure about with their bloody appeal in Ministry of Justice and all that crap. and I downloaded that document form anyway. But I'm going to go straight to sue them for direct discrimination on this. And obviously I'll need to find out if there's local, I've got this saved on a drive, so the email will go out to the local citizens advice tomorrow and make it clear that I need an application for funding to go to the High Court and seek a judicial, I think it's called a judicial review on how that decision was made, not just the appeal. And the appeal form I didn't get, by the way, where it says on their documents that I should have been sent 2 copies of, and it wasn't even the letter, right? It wasn't even worded mandatory reconsideration on their response document, okay? It's IT produced. And it didn't even give detail what evidence they used. So since I found that out myself now, I can use these key points to go back to them, because they've absolutely breached, let alone what I just quoted, the human rights of vulnerable disabled people. So no wonder people are bloody feel like giving up and have serious consequences on their serious harm. Oh, hi, sorry, I wasn't reading comments because I'm shocked by what I found out. Absolutely sue them. It's unacceptable. Yeah. Hi, Samuel Moore. Sorry, I'm just in shock. Hopefully you will inspire others to do the same. Yeah, absolutely. JS UK News, definitely. I'm going to set up a new YouTube channel at the weekend, and I'm going public who I am and my former birth given name, because I've got experience in PR media years ago, and I had attempted murder on my life. The date was the 13th of the 13th of December 2002, a long time ago, and that's why I have mental health disabilities, yeah? So I've never been able, I got written off years ago from the community mental health people, because I won't be ever recover from the guy that tried to kill me, and he went on to kill women. If you're under 18, disclaimer, please switch off now, okay? The Old Bailey case at the time, murder squad police I dealt with at the time, and all these years on, right, I never recovered from the trauma of that. So that's why I have these conditions, okay? And that means I lack the insight of the certain, I mean, I'm not that extreme. I'm getting better as the years get on. But the fact is, these incompetent, negligent people, not just I, and the fact that it was horrendous sending up this Dr. Martin's report. I know it's dated, I just checked the date of this evidence, right? It doesn't matter that it's dated 2006. Because it's serious. The details of one of the paragraphs and pages, it states I even got offered compensation for criminal injuries, and I haven't got the final payment still all these years on, and I even sent a copy of that from the very Ministry of Justice, HMRC, whatever it's called now. A copy of that finding by those judges that was dated 2011. I sent that evidence off too, that I will never recover from the attempted murder of my life. And then I got run over in 2009, bad luck, I know. So I've had major 3 strokes and never recovered fully. And the last one was 2017, where my daughter-in-law witnessed live on social media, Facebook, when I had a heart attack and a stroke, and the police had to bash in my flat door and common law to get the ambulance crew in. I don't remember much about it until I ended up in hospital and stuff. And that's when I contacted my area, Northamptonshire County Council Limited, right, to see what extra help they can offer me what's it called, Personal Care Act Assessment 2014. I've had a hell of a year trying to bloody get that shite sorted out. It's still not done. And 3 months waiting to get their bloody finger out there behind to get me help I need. In the meantime, I keep having bloody accidents because my mates are struggling and I ain't got my effing bloody wet room blinking repaired by this company I rent from, and that's now 1 year and 9 months. So I keep ending up in hospital because I'm so bloody ill and have accidents because I'm so weak, and all this on top. So you get hit double whammy, so to speak, going through that process of this, Pip, and then find out all this time now, it's March 2019, to find they've been completely incompetent. So that so-called down bloody CEO, Teresa Grant in this area, how much she's earning per year, is responsible of her departments of adult health social care. The former social worker had lied through her damn teeth to say to me, but I don't know if anyone could relate to this, but originally the IT letters from Capita was to go to Coventry, 30 miles away. Well, you're lucky if I can get out my effing door, excuse my bluntness, because of the severe effect of my unseen disabilities, I call it, and the trying to get out my door for these care assessment meetings, which I've again 2 days ago find out by the National Nice Institute of Guidance, I think it's called, NICE, N-I-C-E, that how disabled people are meant to be assessed in the correct procedure for that. I've never, ever, ever had. And all what I've former friends had emailed to chase things up to get advanced questions of that process too, and that never happened correctly too. So if you Google Northamptonshire County Council, you'll find out it's the first in the country to go bankrupt. And if I'd known that, well, I don't know what I would have done, but anyway, it's a shambles, and I live opposite the bloody building, and it's a bloody nightmare every day seeing them blinking. Oh gosh, it's all Conservative run anyway. It doesn't help when you're you can't move forward in your life because you're relying on third parties to do their job in the public sector. And yet when you have your private friends trying to assist you in your personal care needs, so it's like a hospital really here, and they do absolutely the best they can in the time they have. Now, when I reported years ago for this serious abuse in my home, I've got evidence of this, of videos, photographs and text messages from the previous civil servants, and that's reopened my case to the Government Healthcare Ombudsman. And I've got an email last week saying to me they haven't found assessor to look at the evidence yet. So that is a maladministration allegedly as well. So it is about speaking up, and I won't give up because people, God forbid, for their souls, have lost their bloody lives over all this shite. And this is the world they're bloody well treating vulnerable people, and I will speak up, and I will do my best to get my mate to set my website up, a new channel, and I will use what's happened to me years ago, not to be negative or hateful or anything, but to show what I used to be like and the effects of that crime you don't expect to happen. And then you don't expect to lose your old house and then having to go into temporary accommodation, and then eventually find this place where I went from for over 8 years now. And then obviously as soon as I move in, I get run over by a idiot in his car who jumped the curb and ran over my left ankle. So I'm flat back on that bloody road, and I don't get no justice because the police never turned up, you know. I had the kindness, I swear to goodness, kindness of those strangers I didn't know. Apparently I got on this ambulance report that there was 9 witnesses that saw the man speed round the corner up the road from me and jump the curb. So back wheel ran over my left ankle. That's how I ended up sat back on my head and my spine on the concrete road. And I didn't know until a year on that I had the neurology, brain injuries, and the other physical injuries, and until I had the first stroke. And I didn't get the test done properly in the local hospital. I had to fight then to go to the specialist hospital in London, 5 days stay ward, and then had to fight to get the, what's it called, the specialist trauma service hospital, Morsey Hospital, and I had that report. So you can imagine, I was misled by a social worker last year, said, oh, your care needs assessment report will go as additional evidence for this PIP claim. I thought, great, they can see how difficult it is to express myself with strangers, let alone in my own home, how very, very difficult and complicated it is explaining every single thing I need care with. So you can imagine, it's never thought it would get this extreme. So I'm looked upon, like thousands of others, as very costly to the public purse just because I got run over. I had attempted murder on my effing life, and it's not my fault. So no, I won't put up with it anymore. I think 2009 is my voice piece now coming out, because I tell you, I've had a belly full of this. And then I get all this BS from the social housing, right? They're trying to take my secure home off. I've got these medical equipment. What the hell am I meant to do? Where am I meant to go? There's nowhere, is there, in social housing these days? So if they expect to cut the public purse for the taxpayers, and if you're working, you're struggling yourself, then how do they expect so-called Theresa May and all of our cronies, how do they expect people to have equality of life? Put it this way, I could neutralise is the wrong word. I could use my skills to, if I had the right care, the right support to start with, and look at moving forward, you know, this year. That's what was my plan. Now, as that's not happened, I'd hope that the Criminal Injuries Board individuals are just absolutely just as bad, because I do have the right evidence and ID to assist them to pay me that 16 grand. And with that, I was going to hire the human rights barrister I know of in London, and I was going to pay my own fees out of that to take this as a test case. And then I was going to go public, obviously, for helping to show and help other people, and push the boat of that bloody Conservative government, you know, them, what's that, Secretary of State, what's she called? I can't remember her name now, but they've got no clue, you know, and it's all about dividing working people and disabled people in it. They just want to divide us all, and there's no wonder people speak out when they can. I can't protest or anything like that. I ain't got the health, and I'm not, I just don't believe that anybody should be divided. We're all here trying to get on in our own way. And sorry, I wasn't reading any comments, so sorry. What were you saying? Good luck with your journey, thank you. Let me just read your comment. Sorry. I'm just getting your comment up. Good luck for your journey. Thank you. Post about your new channel, please, so we can keep watching. Absolutely. Amber Rudd, thank you for that. Yes, I knew that was. And it isn't for good people like you guys out there, men and women, sharing information. Sarah Newton, yep. Any of them demons, absolutely. Oh my gosh, it's just like they don't have any humanity in them. They're like on ivory towers in their House of Commons with their pay rises. And then do you know, in my area, right, there's a lovely gentleman, right? He's a kind sweetheart and he died recently, and found out about it on social media. And when I had a good day, I stopped outside the local store. You hardly get me outside. My right side's going and all now. But I always try to keep a sense of humour when I can, because you need to, don't you? Because don't let the buggers get you down, so to speak. But how can they do this? You know, it states on that clauses and the key documents that also, if you're going through bereavement, they need to make allowances as well, and the circumstances related to the clauses I just read. And that was on top, you know? And so a bit of good news. My family member, my niece, she's been engaged. I don't know when she got engaged, but there's a wedding coming up. So that's something to look forward to, isn't it? And that was good. That's my sister down south, my next to kin. And yeah, so they expect you to have family members, don't they, to do your paperwork or phone calls. And I don't have all that. And get this, I got nothing to hide, mate. So I just say it is. And I've had half the day in bed because I injured my right foot. I think you saw that stream earlier. And in the state of my wet room. And yesterday, I tried to do, when I was in bed resting again all day yesterday, I tried to do a stream, but it was a bit dark because the curtains were closed, and from my bed about this subject. But I didn't find this out, what I did today. And do you know how I found this out? If it weren't for really good people copying documents of a well-known website I know about, benefitsandworks.co.uk, I can't afford to join them. Anyway, on Facebook, there was the support group or something to do with PIP, and I found the documents I needed, and I downloaded them, and I went through them. It's been about an hour, and I looked through the scriptures, what the DM decision makers, using their computer key codes they should have used. And as I said, the letter they sent was all screwed up. It wasn't even, they didn't send two letters, it was one. IT produced, not signed, and it didn't give the full statement of reason to reject my PIP claim. All it said, I failed to attend my PIP medical. I haven't even had a bloody medical. So how can I appeal? There wasn't even an assessment report, so there's nothing to appeal apart from their decision to block my claim. So, yeah, I need to first get the letter off back up to the CEO, which I've already done, by the way, twice, and they've ignored that. They breached, if you go on the website of Department of Works and Pensions, .gov, I think it's called, and you'll see the date, 16th of July 2018, where it clearly states on the charter how they need to offer additional support for vulnerable disabled people. Well, they haven't. And they have, that's again a negligent. I can get them on that one. And so the statutory general words, how it was printed and sent to me of the recent letter, reject me again, was muddled. You know, the sentences didn't add up. They just said, it was like a generalised computer-generated letter. I could do a bloody better one than that, one-handed on a computer. So my next 2 days will be doing that. And then when I got it done with the help of a friend, and by the way, this Also, I found out today, the national policy for citizens advice is that they should have offered me a home visit by 2 females to help me with the additional photocopying of paperwork and making calls. They refused. In my area, they have refused, and all they said in an email, they will help me remotely. And all they sent was paperwork for me to fill in and copy all of my bloody forms and paperwork to send to them. I'm one-handed. I can't do that. And my friends who struggle with every personal care needs I have haven't got the extra time because they work and I can't pay them. So this is why I'm trying to get an outcome of a care needs assessment to see if I can get funding to choose my own care company to assist me. And then I might need to go in a care home because of the environment I'm living in. So you see, it's a bit of a muddle. So in the meantime, I'm going to chase up my compensation because that would assist me to get an independent OT report, to get 2 barristers, one to sue the county council for duty of care breach and the Care Act assessment, and one to sue the DWP for human rights abuses on failure in this lawful due process and the PIT claim. And then obviously I'll think about what else to do with the rest. But I know it will soon trigger off a what I'm entitled to at the moment. It will stop everything, and so what? I'm not going to have the bloody rent paid when they don't bloody repair my home. So I will then be seeking alternative off-grid living. But I gotta first see if my resending my original documents to criminal injuries people will be accepted this time. And again, it could be delayed, but in the meantime, I'll just focus on doing this document, and help permitting, by the end of the week, as soon as I get my new channel set up, and you'll soon start, I'll get some photos, my old model. You're going to get negative press interest, most probably. And I just say, right, this is a human interest situation. From being very active and able-bodied, and unfortunate experience a horrendous crime, and then years on get run over, and then here I am today. So I think it's a human interest element to show that you can keep carrying on. It just takes time. And I'm not going to get the buggers get me down, so to speak. So thank you for joining and sharing your comments today. I've got to get an early night now after that bloody... Oh, it just disgusts me where their cronies can get away with all this stuff and harm people. People give up, you know, don't they? They just don't find... It is degrading, isn't it? This process, and it's like your whole life. This document, right, of 2006 medical one, apart from others, it goes into very serious personal stuff, how the guy and what he did to me and how it was done, because obviously I had to do that for the police, and that stayed in my GP practice. Yeah, now where the hell has it gone? Yeah, they haven't even bloody used that in their bloody DWP, in their, if they had, they would have known I meet all these criteria and could have easily made a decision and know my high care needs like thousands of others. Yeah, so if you can't effing walk out your bed, you can't self-care, you got a bloody massive hoist, and you've got a sling and all other personal aids attached to my bed, and that stupid, sorry to say this, but that stupid cow outside my blinking window, I got to find out by a rude awakening, by a phone call, by the social worker to say, oh, someone's out your home, trying to get into your home. You what? And that was, as I said, dated 25th, a Thursday, the 10th 2018, 9:15 a.m. Now, I have all these list of bloody medications. I can't even focus half the time, let alone wake up that time. And it weren't for one of these workmen outside my home doing some work around here that woke me up. And I heard these female high heel shoes tip-top next to my bedroom. The walls are so damn big. And I could hear the buzzer going off in my flat. But it was turned off. I could still faintly hear it. And yeah, so I was absolutely fuming and shocked. And ever since then, I've been trying to sort all this out. But I found the ammunition I need now. So God bless. If you're going through things yourself, prayers are with you. And all of us, you know, you just know the bigger picture of why all this is happening. Not just, you know, not just all these croonies, what they're getting away with so many people in the United Kingdom. Put it this way, don't get me started on the universal credit, because that's coming up soon, isn't it? Oh, for gosh sake. Anyway, for all those that's going through a lot, I'll keep persevering. And I have my mum's blood in her, you know, in me, I should say, DNA, strong personality. And got to pace myself and get a good night's sleep and switch off and watch a comedy film, I think. Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable. I'm not surprised though. Anyway, I will keep going. I'm not giving up, and thank you for joining. I'll keep you informed of the new channel. I won't get rid of this one. None of us standing together, stronger we are. Absolutely. Absolutely. The stronger we sit together. And oh yeah, the very universal credit. Absolutely. One tip, you know, what my late mum taught me, she and her grand were from the war years. Then my mum taught my mum, always have a little bit you can afford. Get the extra can or extra pasta or food you can get in, because I can't get to food bank in my wheelchair. And God forbid that will come out. And they always like to throw things at you when you least expect it. So I've got my late mum's slow cooker. That's going to be a challenge another day to get my mates to use that one. And a Halligan roast oven type cooker thing. You can tell I'm not much of a cook. Food banks are 40 miles. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no watching. Yes, I and Daniel Blake are so powerful. So powerful that is. And it's true. It's like what was this homeless guy said to me, and somebody else said, I bumped into somebody I've known for a while, it's a long time, about 4 months back, and said the nearest, you can't get vouchers with food bank or referral unless you go to such and such a place. But if you can't get access to there, or you're ill in bed, what the effing are you meant to do? So it's up to all you people getting the voices out in it. It's up to us, the public, to you know, get our stories out there, get the truth out there, you know, so these croonies can't hide under a rock and hope that these people are still asleep, drinking Kool-Aid or whatever. I think life is wonderful, not until they experience all this themselves, it ain't. I've got a lovely Polish couple that live above me, but they've got no clue what all this is about. I've got I know my sister does, because she's got an autistic son, and she's training in aspects of mental health at university, intelligent lady, and she can't help in issues I've got. She's so inundated with situation. I've got an adult son and his wife. Unfortunately, we don't talk. I don't know why they're like that. And I've got grandchildren, so I don't see them. That's a shame, but I just got to get on with things. And I've got a daughter. She's doing well for herself, so thank goodness they're getting on with their lives. But I wish to goodness they'd wake up. They wake up to reality of life. I taught them well enough, you know. But anyway, that's enough for me for now. Take care, and gotta go.